The red lights were flashing again on the research station New Horizon. Dr. Kim Tae-ho looked up from his coffee and sighed. Another false alarm, probably. Space was full of old junk that sent out signals. Most of it was just broken machines, floating around. "What is it this time?" asked Dr. Park So-ra from across the lab. She was looking at some fish samples under her microscope. She studied ocean life from different planets. "Don't know yet," Tae-ho said. He walked over to the big screen where Lieutenant Lee Jun-sik was working. Jun-sik was good with radio signals and computers. "It's not junk this time," Jun-sik said. His face looked serious. "This signal is asking for help. It's coming from a ship about 2 hours away." Tae-ho felt his heart beat faster. In 3 years working on this space station, they had never found a real alien ship. Earth had made contact with other species before, but finding an actual ship was still very rare and exciting. "What kind of ship?" Tae-ho asked. Jun-sik typed on his computer. Numbers and symbols filled the screen. "The computer says it's from the Vorthak Empire. Big ship, very old design. But Tae-ho..." Jun-sik paused. "The signal is weak, really weak." So-ra came over to look. "Maybe the ship is damaged? Or maybe everyone on it is dead," Jun-sik said quietly. Tae-ho thought about this. The Vorthak Empire was known across the galaxy. They were rich and powerful. They had big cities and strong armies. But they were also known to be mean to other species. Earth's government told all humans to be careful around them. "We have to go look," Tae-ho said. "If someone needs help, we help them. That's what humans do." So-ra looked worried. "But what if it's dangerous? What if it's a trap?" "Then we'll be careful," Tae-ho said. "But we can't just ignore a help signal." "Captain." Lim Jae-wook came into the lab. He was the boss of their research station. He was older than the others and had gray hair. He looked tired. "I heard the alarm," Captain Lim said. "What's the problem?" Jun-sik explained about the signal. Captain Lim listened and nodded slowly. "How many people want to go?" Captain Lim asked. "I do," said Tae-ho quickly. "Me too," said So-ra, even though she still looked worried. "And me," said Jun-sik. "You'll need someone who knows about alien computers." Captain Lim thought for a moment. "Okay, take the small ship, but be very careful. If anything looks wrong, you come back right away. Do you understand?" They all nodded. 2 hours later, their small ship was flying toward the alien vessel. Through the window, they could see it floating in space. It was huge, much bigger than their research station. But it looked old and broken. Parts of it were missing. No lights were on. "It's dead," So-ra whispered. "Maybe," Tae-ho said. "But the help signal is still coming from inside." Jun-sik was checking his instruments. "I'm not finding any life signs, but this ship is so big my scanner can't check everywhere." They put on their spacesuits and got ready to go inside the alien ship. Tae-ho felt scared but also excited. This was what he had always dreamed of, finding new life forms in space. The alien ship was dark inside. Their lights made long shadows on the walls. Everything was much bigger than human size. The Vorthak were tall, Tae-ho remembered. Much taller than humans. "The air is breathable," Jun-sik said, looking at his scanner. "But it smells terrible." He was right. Even through their spacesuits, they could smell something bad, something rotten. They walked down long hallways. Their footsteps echoed in the empty ship. Sometimes they found rooms full of broken computers. Sometimes they found rooms with strange alien furniture. Then they found the cargo area. "Oh no," So-ra said. She stopped walking and put her hand over her mouth. The room was full of cages, hundreds of cages. Most of them were broken open. Inside the cages, they could see bones and old food. The smell was much worse here. They were keeping animals, Tae-ho said. But as he looked closer, he realized something horrible. These weren't cages for animals, they were cages for people. The bones were too big to be from animals. They had fingers and hands. "Who would do this?" So-ra asked. Her voice was shaking. Jun-sik was checking his scanner again. "Wait," he said. "I'm getting a life sign." Very weak. Over there. They followed Jun-sik to the back of the room. In the corner they found one cage that was still closed. Inside was something that made them all feel sick and sad at the same time. It was alive, but barely. The creature was about the size of a human but looked very different. Its skin was covered with big, painful-looking bumps. Some of its arms and legs were missing. Its body was twisted in a strange way. It was breathing, but each breath looked like it hurt. Is it dying? Sora asked. Taeho knelt down by the cage. The creature's eyes opened. They were big and yellow, and they looked right at Taeho. For a moment neither of them moved. Then the creature made a sound. It was soft and sad, like crying. It's in pain, Taeho said. We have to help it. But what if it's dangerous? Sora asked. Taeho looked at the creature again. It could barely move. Half of its body was missing or damaged. Look at it, Sora. It can't hurt anyone. It needs a doctor. Jun-sik was looking at some papers near the cage. He held up a tablet computer. I think I can read some of this. It says, "Oh, this is terrible." What does it say? Taeho asked. These creatures are called Ugliks. The Vorthak. They kept them as slaves. They used them to eat garbage and clean up waste. And when the Ugliks got too sick or too ugly, they threw them away. Taeho felt angry. Very angry. They threw them away? Like garbage? That's what it says. This ship was taking them to empty space to die. Sora was crying now. How could anyone be so cruel? The creature in the cage made another sound. It was trying to reach out with one of its remaining arms. Taeho made a decision. He opened the cage door. Taeho, what are you doing? Sora asked. What my mom taught me to do, Taeho said. When someone is hurt, you help them. It doesn't matter what they look like. He reached into the cage. The creature, the Uglik, let him touch its hand. Its skin felt warm, like human skin. We're taking it back to the station, Taeho said. But Captain Lim said to be careful, Jun-sik said. Captain Lim also taught us that humans help those who need help, Taeho said. This creature needs help more than anyone I've ever seen. They carefully moved the Uglik to their ship. It was very weak and could barely stay awake. But its yellow eyes kept looking at them with what seemed like hope. As they flew back to the research station, Taeho looked at the creature lying on their medical bed. It was ugly, yes, it smelled bad. It was missing parts of its body. But it was alive, and it was intelligent, and someone had tried to throw it away like garbage. What are we going to call it? Sora asked. Taeho thought. Bomb, he said finally. It means spring, new life. Sora smiled for the first time since they had found the ship. Bomb, I like that. As their ship got closer to the research station, Taeho knew their lives were about to change. They had found something that would shock not just their station, but maybe the whole galaxy. He just didn't know how much. Dr. Choi Minho was not happy. He stood in the medical bay of New Horizon with his arms crossed, looking at the creature on the bed. Bomb was sleeping, breathing slowly through a mask that gave it clean air. You brought an alien here without asking. Me first, Dr. Choi said to Taeho. I'm the chief doctor on this station. What if it has diseases? What if it's dangerous? Look at it, Minho, Taeho said. Does it look dangerous to you? Dr. Choi looked at Bomb again. The creature was small and broken. Its skin was covered with ugly bumps. Some of its limbs were missing. It looked like it was in constant pain even while sleeping. It looks sick, Dr. Choi said. Very sick. And I don't know how to treat alien diseases. Nurse Han Yujin came over with a computer tablet. She was young and always wanted to help everyone. Doctor, I ran some tests on the creature's blood. You need to see this. Dr. Choi took the tablet and looked at the results. His eyes got wide. This is impossible. What? Taeho asked. These bumps on its skin, Dr. Choi said. They're not diseases, they're medicine factories. Everyone in the room looked at each other. What do you mean? Asked Sora. Dr. Choi pointed at the screen. Each bump contains different chemicals. Some fight infection, some help wounds. Heal, some fight pain. It's like this creature has a pharmacy growing on its body. Yujin nodded. And look at this. She showed them another screen. Where its arms and legs are missing. The cuts are too clean. Too perfect. Someone cut them off on purpose. Taeho felt sick. They cut off its arms and legs. Not just cut, Dr. Choi said. He was studying the scans more carefully. They did it in a special way, like a ritual. See these marks? This was done many times over many years. But why? Sora asked. Before anyone could answer, Bomb woke up. Its yellow eyes opened and looked around the room. When it saw all the humans staring at it, it tried to hide under the blanket. It's scared, Yujin said softly. Taeho walked slowly to the bed. It's okay, Bomb. We want to help you. Bomb looked at him for a long moment. Then it made a sound. It was soft and musical, like singing. Is it trying to talk? Sora asked. Maybe, said Junsik from the corner. He had been working on his computer the whole time. I've been studying the recordings from the alien ship. I think I'm starting to understand their language. Dr. Song Hye-rin came into the medical bay. She was the station's language expert. She could speak 12 different alien languages. Junsik sent me the audio files, she said. This is very interesting. The Uglik language is much more complex than Vorthak, much more advanced. What do you mean? Taeho asked. Vorthak language is simple, Hye-rin explained. They use basic words for basic ideas. But Uglik language has thousands of different sounds for emotions and feelings. They can describe things that don't even have words in human language. Bomb made another sound. This time it sounded like a question. Hye-rin listened carefully. Then, she made a sound back. It was rough and she pronounced it wrong, but Bomb's eyes got bright. What did you say? Taeho asked. I think I said friend, Hye-rin said, but I'm not sure. Bomb tried to sit up. Yujin helped it. Then Bomb pointed at itself and made a long, beautiful sound. That's its real name, Hye-rin said. Bomb is just what we called it. Its real name means something like Hope Singer of the Deep Waters. That's so... a beautiful name, Sora said. For the next 3 hours, Hye-rin and Bomb worked together. Slowly, they began to understand each other. Corporal Nam Do-young, who was good with communication equipment, helped by recording everything. What they learned made everyone angry and sad. Bomb told them that the Ugliks were not originally from the Vorthak worlds. Long ago, they lived on their own planet. They were smart and peaceful. They loved art and music and science. But they looked different from most aliens in the galaxy. Their skin had the natural bumps that made medicine. Their bodies could grow, back lost parts. They could survive in places where other aliens would die. The other aliens thought we were ugly, Bomb said through Hye-rin's translation. They said we looked like monsters. The Vorthak had come to the Uglik planet many years ago. They said they wanted to trade, but really they wanted slaves. They told the galaxy that we were just animals, Bomb continued. They said we were not intelligent. They said we were born to serve. The Vorthak had taken Ugliks from their home and spread them across the empire. They used them for the worst jobs. Cleaning sewers, eating garbage, working in dangerous mines. But that's not the worst part, Bomb said. Its voice was getting sadder. What's the worst part? Taeho asked. They cut us, Bomb said. Every year, they cut off parts of our bodies. They said it made us less ugly. They said it made us better servants. Bomb showed them its missing arms and legs. This is not from accidents or disease. This is from the cutting ceremony. Every Uglik must go through it. Dr. Choi was writing notes, as fast as he could. The cutting ceremony, is this religious? No, Bomb said. It's punishment. They do it to remind us that we are not real people, that we are just things they own. Sora was crying again. How many of your people are still alive? Bomb made a sound that Hye-rin couldn't translate, but its meaning was clear from Bomb's face. Not many. What about the ship we found you on? Taeho asked. Death ship, Bomb said simply. When Ugliks get too sick or too old, they put us on death ships. They take us to empty space and leave us there. But why? Chunsik asked. Why not kill you quickly? Bomb looked at him with its big yellow eyes. Because then they would have to touch us. They think we are too ugly to touch. So, they let us die slowly. Alone. The room was quiet for a long time. Finally, Captain Lim spoke. He had been listening from the doorway. Bomb, how many Ugliks were on that ship? 300, Bomb said. And you were the only one alive? Bomb nodded. I was the youngest. I lasted longer. Captain Lim looked around the room at his crew. So what do we do now? Taeho knew what he wanted to do. We help Bomb get better. We learn more about the Ugliks. And we figure out how to stop this. Stop what? Captain Lim asked. All of it, Taeho said. The slavery, the cutting ceremonies, the death ships, all of it. Dr. Choi laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. Taeho, the Vorthak Empire has millions of soldiers. They control hundreds of planets. We're just one small research station. So? Taeho said. So how can we possibly stop them? Taeho looked at Bomb, who was listening to everything even though it was hard to understand. I don't know yet, but we have to try. Bomb made a sound. Hyarin listened and then smiled. What did it say? Sora asked. It said, thank you, Hyarin replied. But the way it said it means more than that. It means you have given me back my life. Captain Lim was quiet for a moment. Then he nodded. Okay. We help Bomb. We learn everything we can. And then we figure out what to do next. As the crew left the medical bay, Taeho stayed behind with Bomb. The creature looked much better. Already, the human medicine was helping it heal. Bomb, Taeho said. How many Ugliks are still alive in the galaxy? Bomb thought for a moment. Then it held up its remaining fingers. Not many. We're going to help them, Taeho promised. All of them, Bomb, made a sound that Taeho was starting to recognize. It meant hope. 2 weeks passed. Bomb was getting stronger every day. The human medicine worked well with its natural healing abilities. The bumps on its skin were making better medicine. Its cut arms and legs were starting to grow back. This is amazing, Dr. Choi said, looking at the medical scans. Bomb's body can regrow whole limbs, but the Vorthak cut them off before they could grow back completely. They did it on purpose, Taeho said. To keep the Ugliks weak. Sergeant Kang Sul-gi was working at her computer station. She was good with finding information in the galaxy's data networks. I've been searching for more information about Ugliks, she said, and I found something interesting. Everyone gathered around her screen. There are secret messages on the galactic internet, Sul-gi said. Messages about rescued Ugliks. Look at this. The screen showed a message written in code. Hyarin read it out loud. 3 saved from transport ship near Rigel system. Need medical supplies. Contact Blue Star Foundation. Blue Star Foundation? Captain Lim asked. Sul-gi typed more commands. It's a secret group. They've been rescuing Ugliks for 20 years, but they're very careful. They have to hide from the Vorthak. More messages appeared on the screen. They were from all over the galaxy. Different alien species, all helping. Ugliks in secret. The Xanthari saved 15 Ugliks last month, Sul-gi read. The Calyx have hidden colonies where Ugliks can live safely. Even some humans have been helping. Bomb was watching the screen. It made excited sounds when it saw the messages. What is Bomb saying? Taeho asked. Hyarin listened. It recognizes some of these names. Some of these Ugliks are from its home planet. They're still alive? Sora asked. Bomb nodded and made more sounds. Bomb says there might be thousands of Ugliks hidden across the galaxy, Hyarin translated. But they're all sick, all damaged. No one has been able to really help them get better. Engineer Officer Yoon Byung-ho had been listening quietly. He was the station's best engineer. His assistant technician Lee Ga-young worked with him on all the machines. What if we could help them? Byung-ho asked. What if we could make the medicine they need? What do you mean? Dr. Choi asked. Bomb's body makes natural medicine, right? But it takes time to heal from all the damage. What if we could make artificial versions of that medicine? We could heal Uglics faster. Ga Young nodded excitedly. We could modify our medical machines. Make them work for Uglic biology instead of human biology. That's a great idea, Taeho said. But first we need to contact these other rescue groups. Seulgi was already working on it. I'm sending a coded message to the Blue Star Foundation. I'm telling them we have a healthy Uglic and new medical treatments. The answer came back quickly. It was from someone calling themselves Healer of the Lost. We must meet, the message said. But carefully, the Vorthak are watching everything now. They know someone is helping their property escape. Captain Lim looked worried. Property? They still call the Uglics property? That's how the Vorthak see them, Bomb said through herein. Not as people, as things they own. 3 days later, a small ship arrived at New Horizon. It carried 2 aliens that the humans had never seen before. They looked like tall birds, with colorful feathers and sharp beaks. We are from the Avarath species, the first alien said. Its voice was high and musical. I am Healer Kestar. This is my partner, Wingsinger Velmoth. You're part of the Blue Star Foundation? Taeho asked. We started it, Kessitar said. 20 years ago, we found our first dying Uglic. We couldn't just leave it to die. Velmoth looked around the station. We have heard rumors about human medicine. Is it true you can heal the deep wounds? Dr. Choi brought them to see Bomb. The 2 bird aliens made soft sounds of amazement. Impossible, Kessitar whispered. This Uglic is almost completely healed. Its limbs are growing back. Its medicine bumps are healthy and strong. How? Velmoth asked. Human medicine works well with Uglic biology, Dr. Choi explained. We can speed up their natural healing. Kessitar and Velmoth looked at each other. Then Kessitar spoke. We have saved 847 Uglics over 20 years. All of them are sick. All of them are in pain. If you can really heal them, we can, Taeho said. But we need your help. We need to find them all. That will be dangerous, Velmoth warned. The Vorthak Empire has spies everywhere. If they find out what we're doing, what will they do? Sora asked. They will kill us all, Kessitar said simply. And they will kill every Uglic we've saved. The room was quiet for a moment. Then Bomb spoke. Everyone listened as Hirin translated. Bomb says it doesn't matter, Hirin said. It says the Uglics are dying anyway, slowly and hiding in pain. If there's a chance to really live again, they should take it. Captain Lim made his decision. We'll help, but we need to be smart about it. Over the next few days, they made a plan. Seulgi would use her computer skills to find more Uglic refugees. Byung-ho and Ga-young would build portable medical machines that could be sent to the hidden colonies. Dr. Choi and Yujin would train other aliens to use the new medicine. But then something happened that changed everything. Jun-sik was monitoring radio signals when he heard something that made him go pale. Captain, he called, we have a problem, a big problem. Everyone rushed to his station. I'm picking up a transmission from the Vorthak Empire, Jun-sik said. They're looking for their missing cargo ship, the one we found Bomb on. What are they saying? Captain Lim asked. Jun-sik played the message. Even though it was in alien language, the tone was angry and threatening. Hye-rin listened and translated. They're offering a reward for information about their missing ship, and they're specifically asking about their missing property. They mean Bomb, Taeho said. Yes, and there's more. Hye-rin looked scared. They're sending ships to search this area. If they find Bomb here, they'll take it back. Sora finished. Bomb had been listening to the translation. It made a sad sound and tried to get out of bed. Where are you going? Taeho asked. Bomb says it should leave, Hye-rin translated. It doesn't want to bring danger to the humans who saved it. No, Taeho said firmly. You're not going anywhere. Captain Lim was thinking hard. How long before the Vorthak ships get here? 3 days, maybe 4, Jun-sik said. Then we have 3 days to decide what to do. Kessatar and Velmoth looked at each other again. Then Kestar spoke. There is something you should know, the bird alien said. The Blue Star Foundation is not the only group helping Uglics. There are others, many others. How many? Captain Lim asked. Across the galaxy, maybe 50 different species are secretly helping. Thousands of individuals, all hiding, all scared, but all trying to save the Uglics. Why? Teho asked. Velmoth answered, because what the Vorthak are doing is wrong, and everyone knows it, but no one has been strong enough to stop them. Until now, Teho said. Everyone looked at him. What do you mean? Captain Lim asked. I mean, maybe it's time to stop hiding, Teho said. Maybe it's time to stand up to the Vorthak Empire. Bomb made a sound. It was not sad this time. It sounded like hope. What did it say? Sora asked. Yirin smiled. It said yes. The Vorthak ships arrived right on time. 3 big warships, black and threatening, stopped near New Horizon. The humans could see them through the windows, dark shapes against the stars. Captain Lim stood on the bridge with his crew. His hands were shaking, but his voice was steady. This is Captain Lim of the research station New Horizon, he said into the radio. State your business. The answer came back in broken human language. We are Commander Thexkul of the Vorthak Empire. You have stolen our property. Return it now. I don't know what you're talking about, Captain Lim said. Do not lie, human. We know you took the cargo from our transport ship. Our sensors show Uglic life signs on your station. In the medical bay, Bomb was listening to everything. It looked scared but determined. What do we do? Sora whispered. Teho looked at his friends. At the crew who had become like family. At the bird aliens who had risked everything to help. At Bomb who had already suffered so much. We tell the truth, Teho said. What? Captain Lim asked. We tell the galaxy what's really happening, Teho said. No more hiding, no more secrets. Junsik understood first. You want to broadcast everything? Tell everyone about the Uglics? Yes. Let the whole galaxy see what the Vorthak have been doing. Dr. Choi looked worried. But that could start a war. Good, Teho said. Maybe it's time for a war against slavery. Captain Lim thought for a moment. Then he nodded. Do it. Junsik worked fast. He opened communication channels to every planet, every space station, every ship in the galaxy. Within minutes, billions of people would be listening. This is Captain Lim Jaewook of the Human Research Station New Horizon, he began. I want to tell you about something terrible that has been happening in our galaxy for hundreds of years. The Vorthak ships moved closer. Warning lights flashed on their hulls. Return our property immediately, Commander Thexakul said, or we will take it by force. The property you're talking about is not property, Captain Lim said. It's a person named Bomb, from a species called the Uglics. Across the galaxy, people stopped what they were doing to listen. Captain Lim told them everything, about finding the death ship, about the cages full of bones, about the torture disguised as improvement, about the medicine factories growing on Uglic skin, about the intelligence hidden behind faces that others called ugly. The Vorthak Empire has been committing genocide, Captain Lim said. Slowly, cruelly, for centuries, and we're not going to let them continue. The response was immediate. Messages flooded in from across the galaxy. Aliens from hundreds of different species all saying the same thing. We had no idea. This is horrible. How can we help? But the Vorthak were not impressed. Enough lies, Commander Thexkul said. We are boarding your station. Resist, and we will destroy you. I don't think so, said a new voice on the radio. Everyone looked at their screens. A huge ship had appeared out of nowhere. It was bigger than the Vorthak warships. Much bigger. This is Fleet Admiral Park Young-min, of the Earth Defense Force, the voice said, and you are not boarding anything. More ships appeared. Human ships from all over Earth's territory. They surrounded the Vorthak vessels. How did they get here so fast? Sora asked. Captain Lim smiled. I sent a message to Earth 3 days ago. I told them we might need help. But the biggest surprise was still coming. This is Healer Kessitar of the Avarath Republic, came another voice. We stand with the humans. Bird ships appeared, dozens of them. This is Captain Velzorth of the Calyx Federation. We will not allow this genocide to continue. More ships, different designs, different species. This is Commander Yithtak of the Zinthari Collective. The Uglics are under our protection. Within an hour, the space around New Horizon was full of ships. Hundreds of them. Aliens from across the galaxy, all coming to help. Commander Thexcool's voice was not so confident now. This is illegal. The Uglics belong to the Vorthak Empire. Not anymore, Admiral Park said. As of right now, Earth officially recognizes the Uglics as a free and independent species. We are granting asylum to all Uglic refugees. You cannot do this. We just did. On the station, Dr. Yang Yun Seo arrived with a full medical team from Earth. She was the best geneticist on the planet. Show me this Uglic, she said to Dr. Choi. I want to see what we're working with. When she saw Bomb, her eyes got wide. Incredible. The biological complexity is amazing. With the right treatment, we could restore their entire species. How long would it take? Taeho asked. Give me 6 months and unlimited resources, Dr. Yang said. I can build a treatment center that will heal thousands of Uglics. Outside, more ships kept arriving. The secret network of Uglic rescuers was secret no more. Everyone was coming out of hiding. But the Vorthak were not giving up. If you do not return our property, we will take it, Commander Thexcool said. We have the right to protect our interests. Try it, Admiral Park said. The Vorthak ships moved forward. Their weapons powered up. That's when something unexpected happened. Bomb asked to speak on the radio. Are you sure? Taeho asked. Bomb nodded. With Higherin translating, it spoke to the galaxy. My name is Hope Singer of the Deep Waters, Bomb said. You call me ugly. You call me property, but I am alive. I think, I feel, I create art and music and stories. The translation was broadcast to every world. You cut my body because you said it made me better, Bomb continued. But you were cutting away my soul. You took my people from our home and made us slaves. You told the galaxy we were animals. Bomb's voice got stronger. But we are not animals. We are not property. We are people, and we will be free. The response was immediate. Across the galaxy, protests started. On Vorthak worlds, other slave species began to rebel. The Empire's own people began to question what their government was doing. Commander Thexcool made a mistake. He fired on the human ships. The battle was short. The Vorthak ships were outnumbered 50-1. But more importantly, they were fighting for slavery. The Allied fleet was fighting for freedom. When it was over, 2 Vorthak ships were destroyed. The third surrendered. This is not over, Commander Thexcool said as his ship was captured. The Empire will not forget this. Good, Admiral Park said. We want them to remember. A month later, construction began on Haven Station. It was built in neutral space where no empire could claim it. It was designed by humans, funded by dozens of species, and built for one purpose: healing the Uglics. Bomb was the first patient at the new medical center. But it wouldn't be the last. How do you feel? Taeho asked as Bomb looked at its fully healed body in the mirror. Like myself, Bomb said. For the first time in my life, I look like myself. Its skin was smooth now, with healthy medicine bumps that glowed softly. Its arms and legs had grown back completely. It was beautiful in a way that humans were just beginning to understand. Thank you, Bomb said to all the humans. You gave me back my life. No, Taeho said. You were always alive. We just helped you remember. 6 months after the battle at New Horizon, the galaxy looked very different. Haven Station was now the size of a small city. Ships came and went every day, bringing supplies, bringing volunteers, And most importantly, bringing Uglics. Dr. Kim Tae-ho walked through the medical center where it all began. Hundreds of Uglics were being treated. Some had just arrived and were still scared and sick. Others were almost healed and were learning to use their restored bodies. "Good morning, Dr. Kim," said a voice behind him. Tae-ho turned around. It was Bomb, but Bomb looked completely different now. Its skin was smooth and glowed with health. Its body was strong and whole. Most importantly, it smiled. "Good morning, Ambassador Bomb," Tae-ho said. That was Bomb's new job. It was the first Uglic ambassador to speak for its people in the galactic government. Every day it worked with diplomats from hundreds of species. "How are the new arrivals?" Bomb asked. "Scared but hopeful," Tae-ho said. "Just like you were." They walked together to the main medical bay. Dr. Yang Yunseo was working with a group of young Uglics who had never seen their true appearance before. "This is what you really look like," Dr. Yang was saying. "This is what your people were meant to be." The young Uglics stared at themselves in mirrors. Their medicine bumps glowed with different colors. Their restored limbs moved gracefully. They were not ugly at all. They were beautiful in their own unique way. "It's hard to believe," one of them said. "The Vorthak always told us we were monsters." "The Vorthak were wrong about many things," Bomb said gently. In another part of the station, Dr. Ro Mi-kyung was meeting with ambassadors from across the galaxy. She was Earth's best diplomat, and she had been working non-stop on something called the Haven Accords. "The agreement is simple," Dr. Ro was saying. "No species can be enslaved because of how they look. No species can be called property because they are different." "The Vorthak will never agree to this," said the ambassador from the Rigel Consortium. "They don't have a choice," Dr. Ro replied. "Over 200 species have already signed the accords. The Vorthak Empire is completely isolated now." And it was true. The Vorthak Empire was falling apart. Their slave species were rebelling. Their own people were protesting. Their economy was collapsing because they had depended on slave labor for so long. Some Vorthak were trying to change. A group led by a politician named Prime Minister Kelthara was working with humans to create reparation programs. "We want to make up for what we did," Prime Minister Kelthara had said in her last message. "But we don't know how to fix hundreds of years of cruelty." "Start by admitting it was wrong," Dr. Ro had replied. "Then work with us to heal the damage." But the biggest news was still coming. Dr. Park Sora had been working with Bomb and other Uglics to learn about their history. What she discovered changed everything. The Uglics didn't originally come from the Vorthak territories, Sora announced at a big meeting. They came from somewhere else, somewhere far away. She showed pictures on a big screen. These star charts were hidden in Uglic songs. They're like maps, but in music form. "Maps to where?" Captain Lim asked. "To their real home," Sora said. "The Uglic homeworld still exists. It's hidden in the Spiral Nebula, 3 months' travel from here." The room was quiet. Then Bomb spoke. "Is anyone still there?" it asked. "We think so," Sora said. "The songs talk about the ones who stayed behind. There might be a whole civilization of Uglics who were never captured by the Vorthak." Tae-ho felt his heart beat faster. "We have to go there." "It could be dangerous," Captain Lim warned. "We don't know what we'll find." "We'll find Bomb's people," Tae-ho said. "And they need to know what happened to the ones who were taken." 2 weeks later, the first expedition to the Uglic homeworld was ready. Captain Lim commanded the ship New Dawn. Ambassador Bomb was going home for the first time. 50 other Uglics who had been healed were going with them. The journey took 3 months, just as Sora had predicted. When they finally reached the Spiral Nebula, they found something amazing. Hidden behind clouds of colorful gas was a blue-green planet covered with cities. But these were not cities like humans or Vorthak built. These were living cities grown from the same material as Uglic medicine bumps. "It's beautiful," Sora whispered. Ships came out to meet them. Not metal ships, but living ships that glowed with soft light. The Uglics who flew them looked like Bomb, but they had never been hurt or damaged. They were healthy and whole and proud. "Who are you?" the lead ship asked in the musical Uglic language. Bomb answered, "We are the lost ones. We are the taken ones. We have come home." What followed was the biggest celebration in Uglic history. The homeworld Uglics had never forgotten their lost brothers and sisters. They had been waiting for hundreds of years for them to return. "We knew you would come back someday," the Uglic leader said. Its name translated to Keeper of the Ancient Songs. "We kept your names in our songs. We kept your stories alive. And we kept hoping," Bomb replied. The homeworld. Uglics were amazed by the human technology that had healed their lost relatives. They were even more amazed by the humans themselves. "You helped our people when no one else would," Keeper of the Ancient Songs said to Captain Lim. "You saw beauty where others saw ugliness. You saw people where others saw property." "That's what friends do," Captain Lim said simply. The expedition stayed on the Uglic homeworld for a month. They learned about Uglic culture, Uglic art, Uglic science. They discovered that the Uglics had developed medicine and biotechnology far beyond anything in the galaxy. "We could share this knowledge," Keeper of the Ancient Songs offered. "To thank the species who helped our lost children. We would be honored," Captain Lim said. When the new dawn returned to Haven Station, it brought wonderful news. The Uglic homeworld was not just alive, it was thriving, and they wanted to rejoin the galactic community. 1 year after Tejo first found Bomb in that cage, the galaxy held its first Interspecies Unity Council. Representatives from every known species sat together as equals. The Uglic representative was Ambassador Bomb. It sat at the same table as humans, Avirath, Kalex, Zenthari, and hundreds of other species. Even some reformed Vorthak were there. "We Ainei gather today to celebrate something new," Bomb said in its opening speech. "Not just the freedom of the Uglic people, but the idea that all people deserve freedom." The audience, billions of beings watching across the galaxy, listened carefully. "1 year ago I was dying in a cage," Bomb continued. "I thought I was ugly. I thought I was worthless. I thought I was property." Bomb looked at the human delegation, where Tejo sat with his crew. "But some humans found me. They didn't see ugly. They saw hurt. They didn't see property. They saw a person who needed help." Bomb stood up. Its medicine bumps glowed brightly with emotion. "Today, over 50,000 Uglics have been healed and freed. The Uglic homeworld has rejoined the galaxy. The Haven Accords have ended legal slavery for 12 different species." The audience cheered. "But most importantly," Bomb said, "we have learned that being different is not being wrong. That looking unusual is not being ugly. That needing help is not being weak." Bomb looked around the great hall. The humans have a saying, "All people are created equal." Today, for the first time in galactic history, that is actually true. After the ceremony, Tejo found Bomb on the observation deck of Haven Station. They stood together, looking out at the stars. "Do you ever think about that first day?" Tejo asked. "When we found you in that cage?" "Every day," Bomb said. "It was the day I learned what hope felt like." "And what does hope feel like?" Bomb smiled. "Like being seen for who you really are." In the distance, ships from dozens of species came and went from Haven Station. Former slaves were becoming free citizens. Former enemies were becoming friends. The galaxy was changing, one rescued person at a time. "What happens now?" Tejo asked. "Now we make sure this never happens again," Bomb said. "To anyone. Anywhere. That's a big job." "Yes," Bomb agreed. "But we have good friends to help us." They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the stars. Two very different beings who had found friendship across the vastness of space. Around them, the galaxy continued its slow turn toward justice, carried forward by the simple human idea that everyone, no matter how different, no matter how unusual, no matter how ugly others might think them, deserved to be free. And in the medical bay below, Dr. Yang was welcoming another group of rescued beings to Haven Station, continuing the work that would never truly end. Healing the hurt, freeing the enslaved, and teaching the galaxy that different did not mean less than. 3. Universe was vast and full of wonders. But perhaps the greatest wonder of all was this. Sometimes all it took to change everything was one person willing to open a cage and say, "You don't belong here. You belong with us."